What is up, fellow anglers? Got something a little bit different for y'all today. I received this package as part of a prize giveaway from our friends over at Smartbait. So they sent me a number of color-changing lures and baits. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and show you not just the baits, but also how they change in different temperatures. I've got some cold water and some hot water. Let's get to it. All right, friends, so here's the setup for today. I've got a towel down just because I'm dealing with water on my desk. I don't want to make a huge mess. The ambient temperature in my house is right around 70 degrees right now. On the water to my right, which is right here, we have a temperature of right around 50 to 55 degrees. And on the water to my left, we have a temperature of around 80 to 85 degrees. So vastly different water temperatures. With the ambient temperature in the air, we'll be able to see all three. And just because I have a blue towel down here, I've just got a piece of paper up here to give us a good idea of what white is considered, so you can see how these colors change out. Now I have opened this up just to give a peek and to plan for the video, but I really haven't given this a thorough review or look of everything that we have today. So let's jump right in it. And first off, we've got Smartbaits. Color changing. Looks like this is a chartreuse to blood red. You can always see those down here in the corner of these baits. So a little bit closer to the chartreuse color. So this is a minnow swim bait that's on here. So let's open it up real quick. So again, it's about 70 degrees in the house right now. And you've kind of got this orangey color that's on here. Now you will notice even from grabbing these baits, wrapping your hands around them a little bit, you'll start to see color change. So that turn a little bit more yellow. So I'm going to take this and I'll put the tail end here into the yellow color, or the cooler water. So I'm going to bring that into camera so you can see that it's already turning that red color. Just give me an idea of how those work. So more of a blood red is what it's going for. It's about 50, so like if you got this into some of that 30, 40 degree weather, you would definitely see it even more of a blood red. Let me get that with the white background so you can kind of see that solid color. So definitely the red color. And again, let me grab this warmer water about 80 degrees here, and we're going to drop that same tip in there so you can see that color change. Now, I like the idea of these color changing baits to potentially make them more versatile and to automatically adjust based on the color temperature. Not sure it's always the right colors, but that's all right. So definitely more of that yellow that we're already seeing in the ambient temperature, a little bit better yellow color. I don't know if you can tell. Of course, now that I'm holding on to it, it doesn't really help out. Let me pull this up in the background, but you can kind of get an idea of that yellow color there. So very cool, little minnow swim bait. Definitely a lot of fun to throw these around, so I'll toss those around for sure. So they sent me one package of those, which should be pretty exciting. Let's see what we got next. I feel 3 more packages in here. Let's see, I've got 2 that are in kind of plastic containers. Let's take a look here. We have got the Vibe. Looks like a Lipless Crank, or Rattletrap, you may know it as well. They do have these kind of ideas on here that if you get kind of heat them up a little bit and kind of show you how the colors are supposed to respond. But let's pop this open real quick. It's kind of a cool case. I'm kind of a nerd about cases and such. So definitely a larger, very heavy, very wide top edge of this Lipless Crank. You gotta hold of these hooks so they're not flying around. Very solid rattle as well. So very cool. I like the eye on this. Looks really nice. I like the shape of this as well. But let's take a look real quick. So if I dip this into this colder 50 degree water, so you can see our belly is automatically changing to a red color away from the yellow color that it was originally. So it looks like primarily just the belly of this one is in the color changing. So we got the kind of a reddish orange. Seems to be the red is where it goes to for the cold so far. And let's drop this in the warmer water now. And instant, you can see that turns that bottom color to a yellow. And you can see a little bit more of the yellow stripe. It seems like, hopefully it comes out in the camera okay, on the top as well. So this is interesting. I've got a few Lipless Crank, Rattletrap type setups like this one here. I do like some more of the details and the eyes and such here, but I don't have any that are quite this wide. This is probably twice as wide as like your classic Rattletrap, which is very interesting. So very cool. So I'm gonna throw that in here, over to the side. Let's see, I've got another in a plastic container. And it looks like we've got another type of crank. Let's see here. Yeah, it's actually called the crank. And yeah, it's just a regular crankbait. Get this out of here real quick. It's got a larger lip to it. Let me see here. Does it say what our depth is on this? So our depth on here is up to 8 foot, hence the size of the larger lip on this particular bait. So nice black on the top, red gill, kind of a yellow underbody. Let me rub my thumb on there real quick for where the red is. And yeah, you can see that change out. So let's drop this in the colder water. And instantly you got that red chunk right up front. It's like a bit on the back as well. It's not as consistent here. So that's one thing I'm noticing with this one. And hopefully this is coming out in the camera. Let me soak this in a little bit. So it's not totally changing it red. This part turned red pretty fast. It's not matching the rest of the lure. But it's looking like the rest is starting to change. So it should probably match over time. So it's a little bit of a floating bait, so let me just let it hang out there for a little bit. There we go. So it is an orangish red. So it doesn't look like maybe they didn't get the color changing paint on there consistently on the bottom, but it does basically change the belly. So I'm noticing that these hard baits, it basically changes the belly color. Top color pretty much stays the same. So let's take this same guy. Let's top it over here in this 80-degree water. And again, same thing, instantly yellow. Hopefully y'all saw that, how fast that changes on the warm. Warm definitely adjusts a lot faster to the new color, so it gives it a red. So a lot of these are basically what I'm seeing so far, and all 3 of these is red to yellow. So red in the colder areas, or colder waters, and yellow in the warmer waters. And I haven't really looked at the smart baits that much. It might be their whole deal with all their baits. I'm not for sure, but I thought I'd show us for sure. So this is our last bait that's in here, color changing baits. And it looks like we got ourselves a jerk bait. Well, let's pop it open and take a look for ourselves to know for sure. There we go. Now, the holograms on this by itself are pretty trippy and pretty cool. I hope that is coming across in the camera all right, because those colors are pretty rad on the side by itself. Just regular smooth, but definitely that holographic shine. Just something I don't have in other jerkbaits. So again, regular yellow on the bottom. Let's drop this in the cold water as much as I can here. This one's a little bit larger than my container, but I think we can see, definitely going to turn that red. I'm just going to push this down in here a little bit. There we go. So we can see that turning that red color, except from where my thumb is. So again, top stays the same, bottom turns a solid red color. And let's grab that warmer water. And I'm betting, like the others, this will be pretty instant once I get it in the water. There we go. And we've changed that to a yellow belly color. I will say too, now that I've got that in here in this warmer water, there's this red fin that wasn't here before either. So they've got a red color that's popped up here on the side. Kind of a fin or a bleed out. But I'm pretty impressed with just the holographic feel on this, which should be pretty fun. And I just got some of my first jerkbaits to try out, so I'm going to have to throw this into the pile. Now let me take a look at if it tells me depth for this particular jerkbait. I am not seeing a depth for this jerkbait. I am guessing with this larger spoon, it's probably going to be around, based on looking at that last crankbait, probably around the 6 to 8 foot. It'll be hard to tell for sure, but just those colors themselves would be pretty cool. So let me kind of give the spread again on what I've got picked up here. I've got the jerkbait there. I've got this nice chunky lipless crank or Rattletrap, that's whatever you call them. I do have this crankbait, smaller body, big spoon, pretty good. And of course this package, and I'll pull one out. I have these mighty minnows for me to throw on many of my rigs. So pretty cool little setup. Thank you, Smartbaits, for sending these out to me. I appreciate it. I know shipping was had some problems there. Things tended to disappear, which I can't, happens. No big deal. But that's what I got. I've never seen the actual color changing hard bait, so hopefully this is beneficial for you if you're wanting to take a look. Beautiful set of baits. Can't wait to get these out in the water. We're in winter in Kansas right now, so they'll probably be running the red color, that's for sure, for this colder water that we're running into in the area. Can't wait to try them out, especially in both seasons, to see if this color changing actually matters, or is it just another gimmick to catch fishermen? We'll see. That's all I got for today, my friends. If you can't get outside, bonus, get a pole in the water. It's beautiful outside. Life is wonderful. Go enjoy it. Take care.